Let's go. Pop it and lock it. Ooh. Oh, guess who? Just hit 100 subscribers. Woo! But seriously, thank you so much, honestly. This is absolutely crazy. I've never had growth like this on any YouTube channel. So I really just want to say thank you very, very much. And for any of you who are here for the philosophical Minecraft series, it's not going anywhere. There'll be new episodes whenever I do them, but they are coming. But this channel exists for me to talk about anything and everything that I like. So today, that's exactly what we're going to be talking about. And I hope that you enjoy the video. I'm just going to say it, okay? I like anime. I know, big deal, whoop-de-doo, woo! It's not like I watch it every day like some people, but I've watched my fair share, and today we're going to be talking about one of my favourite studios that's produced two of my favourite anime I've ever watched. And that is, of course, this video is going to work in two sections. We've got the Gurren Lagann section and the FLCL section. So if you just want to watch one, that's completely fine. Go ahead and skip down below. I don't know where it is, probably here somewhere on the timeline. You can go ahead and skip there. Or, you know, if you're really super cool, you could watch both the sections and then comment about how great the video was. So where the heck do I start with Gurren Lagann? It's just peak fun times, even when it's not fun. Something you'll instantly be able to tell about Gurren Lagann is that it's animated by Gainax, and that's because their very distinct style has created some absolute bangers, and that is put in full force here. Gurren Lagann not only looks amazing in animation, but also in the amazing colour palette used. The skies are full of warm pinkish reds and deep blues, and Simone and Carmina's outfits reflect these reds and blues. Speaking of the boys, they are absolutely what draw you into the show and keep you watching for more. Carmina, as he so graciously explains in the show, is the embodiment of manliness and coolness. But unlike you'd expect, he can actually back that up. And it's not just talk and ego. He absolutely backs that up in spades, but even so, he's put in check by Simone, quieter, timider boy who we get to see evolve throughout the show. And honestly, his character arc is the best thing about it, because you get to see him go from this really meek, timid little baby guy to this absolute Chad. It's easily the thing that kept me watching throughout the episodes, especially when, spoilers, Carmina dies. What's worse is that his death is caused by a villain, yes, but ultimately it was avoidable, because he was put on the front lines because Simone needed his help and a quick pep talk to get his mecha started. And Simone knows this all too well, and we get to see him grapple with the guilt he feels, going down a pretty dark path of vengeance and bloodlust. But this just makes the moment all the more sweeter when Simone accepts that nothing can be changed and starts looking to the future instead of dwelling on the past. That is when we get to see the true Simone. It all culminates in one of the coolest, swaggest, flyest scenes in all of anime, where this guy announces to the world,
"What did he say?"
I didn't want to spoil too much of the show, but I had to talk about Simone and Carmina because for me, they are what make the show great. I haven't yet mentioned that we get a time skip about halfway through the show. And this is great because we get to see Simone and the effect he's had on the world partway through the story. But what my favourite thing is that in this new world that's been built up from the ground, what we get to see, the biggest thing in this city, is a huge statue of Carmina. And this is just a really cool and sentimental moment because it's honouring the legacy of one of the greatest people in this universe, right? To never forget him and honour how important and instrumental he was for Simone's growth. But wait a minute, what actually is Gurren Lagann? Well, it's a sort of mecha show about a guy with a drill who will pierce the heavens, and about humans coming up and they go ground after living there for a long time, and they blow them up and then they take back the earth, but they've got a deal with this alien baby guy and they're just goofing around. Head thing. Like, what are the aliens? And that is Gurren. And then, oh wow, these aliens, they're piloting these huge tools. And then Carmina basically. So yeah, it's kind of complicated, but once you watch it, you'll understand it just fine. There's also something called spiral power, which is sort of this force-like power, you know, from Star Wars. It's not like a quantifiable thing, but most people have it. And some people have it a lot more than others. And ultimately, we're told that it will bring about the destruction and death of humanity. The reason I like Gurren Lagann so much, though, is not because of while I watched it, but because of the effect it had on me after I'd watched it. Rarely does an anime stick with me after I've watched it, because yeah, it's hype when you're watching it, but it rarely has an effect on my daily life. Well, you know those philosophical Minecraft videos I do? Well, I seriously debated doing one all about this one quote from Gurren Lagann. Never forget, just believe in yourself. Not in the Simone that I believe in, not in the Kamina that you believe in. Have faith in the Simone who believes in you. And this is exactly what I bang on about in all those Minecraft videos. Believing in the you that believes in you is so powerful, because it's not just having faith in yourself, right? It's having faith in a stronger version of you. Having faith in that you could one day become that person that you're putting faith in, right? You could be the stronger version of yourself with enough hard work. And I genuinely believe in the me that believes in me, because not only do I know that I want to be a YouTuber, I know that I want to be a successful one. And I'm not going to stop trying until I get it. So I have to believe in the me that believes in me, because otherwise I'm going to have no drive to accomplish it. Anyway, this is sounding way too much like a Minecraft video. I also like Gurren Lagann because of the cool mechs. Look at this guy. Look at this robot guy. He's so cool. Wow. What an amazing design. Gurren Lagann also made me buy my first Gundam. Look at him. Look at this tiny little guy. Look how cool he is. And I would have bought the Gurren Lagann Gundam itself, but it was like £100. So I decided to start off with the small one to see if I like them. And I do. They are so cool. The design intricacies are amazing, but this isn't a Gundam video. This isn't a Gundam video, I swear. Gurren Lagann also made me want to draw. Not because I'm good at drawing, but because it's fun to draw. And I decided to draw one of the most iconic, eye catches in the whole of the show. They have these like eye catches midway through the episode. This is like my favorite one. It's also my desktop wallpaper. I'm a nerd. Okay, that was kind of long considering we're only halfway through the video. If you stuck around and watched that, what a legend. Thank you so much. On to the Fooly Cooly part of the video. Let's go. I was actually going to do a Fooly Cooly video for the first video on this channel, but ultimately I decided to scrap the script because it was a bit too try-hardy, and I have been able to repurpose it for this video. So you're seeing like old thoughts and mature, intellectual, big brain, huge man thoughts right now. Fooly Cooly is insane. It's wacky, it's crazy, but ultimately it still gives a clean look at the traditional coming-of-age story just through a very different lens. This little guy, this little pint-sized buckaroo, he's Naota. He's Naota, okay? He's 12 years old, he's a little guy, but he's like sort of living in the shadow of his older brother, who's gone away and decided to play baseball. He's trying to act much older than he is. Hell, he spends most of his time with his brother's ex-girlfriend, of all people. Yeah, as he goes through the show, we get to see him go from a person who is trying to be a Naruto who's older than he is, to accepting that ultimately he can't be his older brother, he has to be a version of himself. So about that final scene, yes, we're skipping right to there because this bit right here is a god tier moment. It's probably my favourite moment in the entire show. My man gets all the power of this resting king in Kante's body, right? And he basically uses it to get these huge ultimate mega wings, and it looks sick, and he's just flying around, he's all red, and it's so cool. I think Kante is more of a vessel for Naota's character development through the show, for him to grow both mentally and physically, until he accepts that he is his own person, truly separate from everyone else. So much stuff happens in this show, yet it's packed into just 6 episodes. This can lead to some people thinking that the pacing in the show is a bit whack, but personally, I think it's fine as long as you pay attention. And what really helped me pay attention was that amazing soundtrack. Hey, cool segue, right? Yeah, how could I not have talked about the absolute banger soundtrack of The Pillows? I've watched my fair share of shows, yet I rarely take note of the music used in each episode. Sometimes I'll bang along to the OP of the episode, but rarely am I looking forward to specifically music tracks. This was until my eardrums were graced by the beautiful sound of The Pillows. There are so many bangers on this OST, for example Little Busters, that by the time I get to the 5th or 6th episode, I'm just waiting for this song to come on so I can absolutely slash out some of my epic dance moves. Ooh, 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 is that The Pillows I hear playing? Ooh yeah. Or like Last Dinosaur, which provides some hopeful, upbeat sadness throughout the OST. And one thing that really ties all this music together is the sort of broken English these boys speak in. I mean, obviously, because they are Japanese. But I like it, because I think it gives the tracks their own unique charm and sets them apart from a lot of the generic stuff we get nowadays. But my favourite track on the OST is called Brand New Love Song. And just give this one a listen, lads. The first time I heard this, I was just internally popping off because of how much of a bop it is. So what is the OST actually about? Well, I couldn't really tell you because I'm not an expert, but I could see how it could link to the themes of the show about growing up. The whole overarching theme of the show is about growing up and getting older. But I think more importantly, it's about enjoying your time as a kid. Naruto acts older than he is, but throughout the show he's denied things because he's still a 12-year-old at heart. And I think the ultimate message from the show, at least the one I took from it, is to not be so eager to grow up. Take things at your own pace and enjoy all the things you'll experience for the first time as a kid. And from looking at the comments in some of the songs, I think the soundtrack echoes this. A lot of them say that the songs remind them of nostalgic times, or they remind them of a time where they thought the world was going to end over some stupid decision, or just your first time experiencing like a really happy memory. A lot of these songs echo these nostalgic feelings. And I agree, it felt familiar when these songs were coming on, even though I was hearing them for the first time. And when they were familiar by the 5th or 6th episode, they were just absolute bangers. To be honest, the music is what resonated the most with me from this show, even like a year after watching it. But that's not to say the animation of the story is boring. Far from it. At some points, the animation was absolutely fantastic. This shot of Kante turning red when Naruto gets absorbed by him is so cool, coupled with this wind-up kick a few minutes later. It's just stunning. FLCL absolutely slaps when it comes to color design. The vibrant reds it uses, the deep blues it uses in Kante's colors, the orange of the sky and the dark, deep purpley blues of nighttime. It just really pleases my stupid little brain. And all of these colors and all of this animation played to the backdrop of little busters makes this one of my favorite moments in the whole show. So yeah, thank you Gainax, you absolute legend of a studio. These two shows will stay in my brain, renting space in there for a long, long time. And I wouldn't have it any other way. If you liked this video, I'd of course appreciate a comment telling me how you found these two anime. And of course, I hope you enjoyed this brief intermission in your life. Until next time, have a good one. But what about Evangelion?